My name is Ben Doyle, and this is the AS-280 Symbolism Critique. The subject of my picture is "Till Death Do Us Part," and it is from a series of pictures in this subject category by Maria Graywit. This picture takes place what looks like a bedroom of a house. In the foreground, there's a girl and drugs spilled on the table. And then in the background, you see elements that look like to be just a desk in a bedroom. There's a towel hanging up, some photographs of family and friends. And then again, even further back, standing in the doorway, looks to be a young man who looks to be shocked. Um, this picture seems to be of a overdose. Um, and it seems to be a tragedy of sort of heartbreak. Kind of getting this idea from what she named it, "Till Death Do Us Part." Um, again, I think the elements within this image are convincing. I think the idea of the young lady over the table with the drugs spilled out is pretty convincing, and then the young man with his hands over his um, mouth and nose, sort of just shocked, like about to break down, is a convincing idea to show. Um, some things I will critique are the, or I think could make this image a little more convincing, are one, the lighting. Um, in this image, she seems to use the flash, um, which is okay in certain situations, but I feel like here it's sort of a little too bright on the situation, and you can tell um, that this image is somewhat staged, um, which isn't a bad thing, but it could help in making it a little more convincing. Um, um, Also, I think if also dealing with the lighting, if this image was black and white, perhaps it might give that idea of this "till death do us part" sort of tragedy a little better. Um, Again, also the lighting. Um, if the flash was removed and maybe you had more natural light um, that would be coming in through a window, sort of shining on to the table, maybe, or something like that. Um, and then just being darker all around it would maybe again give off that idea of this tragedy of love. Another element that could be critiqued is the perspective at which this image was taken. I feel like, um, although it is convincing of its idea, I feel like if the image was maybe taken a little bit lower, maybe a little bit behind the young lady looking up, you can still see the drugs, but looking up at the young man, sort of shocked, and maybe seeing his face a little more, or maybe to the right of him or right of her, looking up over the desk. Just possibly another perspective this image could be taken that could make it a little more convincing. Um, Also, some elements that are convincing that I liked or I believe worked well in this image were obviously the drugs on the table and the girl over those, that worked well. The young man as well, and then in the background, the pictures on the wall sort of plays into this idea of a tragedy of um, family and friends losing a loved one to this overdose. It seems, um, but overall, I feel like the idea behind this image is a convincing idea, but possibly with a little more adjustments could be better in its point.